Alright, this is Dwayne Telephone once again. I'm here with my man Marcel. We're here with Lyrically Speaking, backdrop in a lovely Union station here in Washington, radio programmer and a prominent station here in Washington, D.C. Hit me to you well over a year ago. And I've been on the course for trying to find out who you are, and I'm glad I ran into you at the Soul Music Summit.
Yeah, man, you got a beautiful spirit, Black.
Hey, man, I'm just here to try to make sure that you guys in this independent genre get out there and do your thing, because we know how the record industry and the music business is going right now. I don't know if you want to put that on film.
Well, you know what? Speaking of that, I am grateful to the Creator's mercy. For the first time in the beginning of this year, the first 4 months, you know, the soul music R&B and soul music downloads have always been dominated by major labels. For the first time in the first 3 months of this year, out of the top 10, 3 of those spots were independent artists. Obviously, Eric Roberson was one. I'm a good friend of mine. He's a king independent at this point. No, I'm joking. Don't push. I'm just happy, brother. I don't want no trouble. But MARCELLINTERVIEW01 for 3.5 months, we're in the top 10 for downloads, Soul Tracks and a few other sites against majors. So I don't know. The game is the people.
The game has changed.
It's going back in the people's hands, and the people are choosing what they want to hear. I mean, the component of the truth, the musicians are still going to be with me. We're writing together. This next album, the third album, the goal is to release by the spring, and that's just going to be Marcel. It's not going to be MARCELLINTERVIEW01. It's going to be Marcel. It's actually going to be a double CD. It's going to be called The Serenade and The Sermon. Sting, the singer, said that each album should be harder to write than the last if you're really an artist. Because like an onion, you should be peeling yourself more, going deeper. So each album should be more transparent, more naked, more vulnerable. And if that's not it, you're in the wrong business. And so I try to take that challenge. So this is the third album. And man, Sade said I almost feel bipolar when I'm writing an album. And I understand, because I've done a lot of crying, a lot of prayer walks at 5:30 in the morning trying to make sense of things with God. I think 3 guys for me, if I looked at the guys, would be Marvin Winans, James Brown, and Donny Hathaway. James Brown, at that time, nobody was hitting the kick drum. Big band. They call him the Beethoven of black music. And I think his simplicity to music, he's the most sampled artist in the history of music. And I believe it's because he was the unity of music and being unified and tight was so important to him. And I think that's really, really gone. And I study him a lot, musically. I studied Donny Hathaway and Bill Withers for nakedness as a man. I look to Donny Hathaway and Bill Withers, these guys, they weren't preaching to us, they were trying to make sense of stuff. And I think a lot of R&B and soul artists think that they need to fix our problems and say clever stuff that we need to hear. I'm like, those guys set a precedence of wrestling through making sense. And I think what is gone from soul music that I'm hopefully trying to bring back is the journalism. Not that I figured out love, but this is where I am in love. And that gives other men and women freedom to try to figure it out too. Now the divorce rates are so high, we don't think it's okay to figure it out. And I think we're supposed to know. And I hope to bring that in music.
Now, with that soul searching that you had to do with these songs,
yeah, sure.
Was there one song in there that just stood out that, man, it got in your gut? Man, it took your heart and it took every ounce of you to get those lyrics out.
Yeah, I would say, man.
I'm sure there's a lot.
Yeah,
every song is your baby.
Yeah, no, I just think one song is I Can't Wait to Be a Slave Again. It's called Slave Again.
Slave Again, all right.
Because the slaves make the coolest friends. And it's the chorus. That song has been really tough about slavery in the heart and mind. The love part, I think, Grow Old With Me has been lyrically very, very challenging. And wow. I think I Can't Believe. One of the love songs is about taking responsibility for yourself and love. And I think what I was doing in my relationship recently with my girl, I was trying to fix her.
Yeah.
And I didn't know I was trying to fix her, but you know, a lot of my friends are like, man, maybe she ain't the one, because relationship shouldn't be this hard. Right. But I loved her so much, and when she challenged me and said, baby, look at you, I walked away and it hit me like a ton of bricks. But the relationship was hard because I really had to look at me. Right. And I didn't want to look at me. And so I think a lot of our generations are like, the relationship should be easy. If it's hard, that means it ain't right.
No, that's never the case. That's sometimes it's that work.
What's hard is me looking at myself.
Labor of love.
And that song for me took, I write most songs in about 30 minutes to an hour. They used to call me the Minuteman in college. I write about 50 to 100 songs a year. That one took me about a month of just, it was times I fell asleep trying to write a line. So, this album, yeah, I don't know, I'm excited. Let's see.
Alright. Now, you hear this about this song. So when you go pick up Serenade and Sermon, which I know you all will, make sure you pay special attention to this song in particular and the lyrics and just know where it's coming from. You heard the story right here. This is like storytellers right now.
Yeah. I was in the 8th grade. My mom and dad were pastors, and my grandfather was a bishop. And I came home and I was pissed. I threw my bag down, and I say, Mommy, I was in the seminary school, and I say, why doesn't gospel music cover the Gospels? She said, what? I said, on Sunday mornings, y'all talking about finance, sex, money, power, religion, racism. But when I hear gospel music, all I say is God is good. And when I read in the Gospels, it talks about sex, money, power, religion, government. It talks about anything you name is covered. So why isn't gospel music covering the Gospels? And my mom said, she was eating and she looked up and she said, why don't you do it? So she let me sing my first song in church called Can Money. And then I started performing. And then the church people started saying, what the heck is that, secular? The secular cats started saying, what the heck is that gospel? And my audience just started being white, black. What breaks a lot of people's mind is half my audience almost every time is men. And because I write my music, honestly, women might not want to hear this, and most of my female fans don't know this. I write for the men. I think a lot of R&B soul artists are writing to manipulate the women, make a couple dollars on them. I write for the men. If the men get free, we all good. If the men get free, we all good. Women are happier, children are stronger, sex is better when the men are men. When the man touch you, and a little boy touch you, it's a different touch. That's all I'm saying. So I write my music for the men, especially the men who are fighting to be men and feel alone. I write my music to encourage those guys. So hopefully I answered your question. My sermon, my pulpit is y'all stages. It's around the world. And so my music initially, I called it truth music. But we needed to put it in a genre, so the people just threw it in soul music.
Marcel
and the Truth. And that wasn't even the name I gave myself. A couple of local promoters would say, here come Marcel and his truth.
Right.
And that's how I got the name. So it just kind of grew and it stuck. So, but if I have my choice, y'all gonna hear going forward, y'all just gonna hear Marcel. I'll let y'all decide whether it's the truth or not. The album, we're working on obviously some tours like many of the independent artists. We're working on a lot. I'm excited right now. We just been deemed the most awarded independent artist to ever come out of Baltimore. And right now we're nominated for 2 awards, which is with Soul Tracks, Album of the Year and Duo Group of the Year, and which I think will put us in 4 years over 23, 25 awards and nominations. So I'm excited about that, and I'm excited now as of this last month. Out of 54 shows, we sold out 48, almost 50. So allegedly we broke some kind of tri-state record for most sold out shows. So hopefully the fans keep loving it and it keeps going.
I look forward to seeing more of you.
No doubt, Black.
And you just keep pushing, selling out music, man. I look forward to that Serenade and Sermon, brother.